Hello and welcome back to English for You. I'm Seb.
I'm Chickling.
And we are still talking about taking pictures. Okay, so where were we last time? We were with Benson and Grace, and they were in...
九份.
九份, right, and they were taking lots of pictures. And they were both in front of the camera. They were both having their picture taken. But do you prefer being in front of the camera or do you prefer being behind the camera? Which one do you prefer?
Well, I actually feel really comfortable being in front of a camera because, you know, I'm a singer, so I do performance. I used to do performances a lot, and then they have to film me. So, and we're doing it right now, actually.
We are in front of a camera right now.
So do you get camera shy?
I sometimes get camera shy, sometimes I don't. It depends.
I don't think you do.
Right now, I don't feel camera shy at all. Right now, I feel very fine. But sometimes someone's like, take a picture. Okay, look cool. And then I'm like,
No, I think you're really good at it. I've seen you in pictures and you're like a model.
Oh, but you have to see all the pictures that get taken before that picture.
Okay.
For every one good picture of me, there's 50 other bad ones.
There's like 100 of me, if that's me, you know?
Okay. Yeah. We'll have to compare after this episode.
Okay.
All right, so Chickalin feels very comfortable being in front of the camera. I feel okay being in front of the camera. But today we're going to be talking a little bit more about that, and we're going to be talking more about taking pictures. So let's rejoin Benson and Grace in 九份.
Yay!
Reading. Photo fun in 九份. Grace and Benson are on 九份Old Street.
Let's get a snack at Grandma Lai's taro balls. The sweet taro balls are delicious.
Okay. The camera eats first, though. I'll take a picture of you posing with the food.
This is taking ages.
Sorry. I'm trying to find the right angle.
My smile is frozen. My face hurts.
Ugh! Stop rushing me. Okay. I took the photo. Oh, no! Look what happened.
The photo is blurry. I don't mind. I seldom look good in photos anyway. Let me take one of you.
Don't forget to adjust the brightness. I've got all these lights behind me.
Okay, hold still. There. Take a look.
I look good. The food looks good. But the man behind me has a really strange expression on his face.
Never mind. We can edit the photo later.
I don't think either of us will ever be a great photographer.
They laugh and eat their taro balls.
So our article begins by saying Grace and Benson are on 九份 Old Street. 看他们在九份老街，还在九份老街 yeah.
Okay, well, there's lots to do on 九份 Old Street. I'm sure that they have lots that they want to see. And Benson says, let's get a snack at Grandma Lai's taro balls. The sweet taro balls are delicious.
Wow.
Do you eat a lot of sweet taro balls?
No, I'm not really a big fan of taro.
They're those little dry fried things, right?
No, I think that's sweet potato balls that you're talking
sweet potato balls.
Which is my favorite, but not taro ones.
But they're both kinds of Taiwanese street food, right? And street food are those little things that you buy at night markets, you know, the snacks, the 小吃 that you buy when you're walking around, not in a restaurant, but just on the street. Okay, so they're trying out some Taiwanese street food.
所以 Benson 就说了，我们到赖阿婆芋圆吃点心吧。他们的芋圆，这个 taro 就是芋头的意思，所以 ball 在这边是球，所以就是芋圆。哇，超好吃的耶。
So Grace says, okay, the camera eats first though. I'll take a picture of you posing with the food. Okay, there, she's saying the camera eats first. She's not actually saying they're going to feed the camera. She's saying we need to take a picture first. So let's see you pose in front of the food. But what does pose mean? Let's check that out with this cutaway. Okay, so we're looking at our first vocab word for the day. pose. Okay, so pose is a verb, and anyone who wants to be big on Instagram should listen up because we are talking about something very important if you want to look good in pictures. When you pose, you arrange your body or your face so you can look good for a photo. I just did a couple of very weird poses right there. And I said weird poses because pose can be both a noun and it's a verb. So we can do a pose or we can pose for a picture. You could be doing a very elaborate pose like for a fashion magazine, or you could just be smiling when you're taking a selfie. If you're changing your body in any way while you're having your photo taken, and because you're having your photo taken, you are posing. So pose, as I said, can be a noun, and that's where we get these words and phrases from. You can hold a pose. That's when you remain in a position for a very long time. We don't move at all. We're holding the pose. Or you can throw a pose or strike a pose, and that's when you very suddenly do a pose. Lastly, we can call someone a poser if they make themselves look good at something, or they buy a lot of expensive clothes to look like, I don't know, they're good at skateboarding or they're really into rock music, but they don't have any real interest or skill in it. So for example, that kid might look like a great sports player, but don't believe him, he's just a poser. Right, let's look at an example sentence using pose as we saw it in the article. Rebecca posed with her grandfather, father, and mother for a family photo.
所以 Grace 就说好呀，我们去吃芋圆吧。那么相机还是得先吃哦。那我要拍一张你跟食物的照片。The camera eats first。字面上指相机先吃，实际上就是先帮食物拍照，或者是先跟食物合照。那么这边的 pose 就是当动词，就是摆好姿势拍照的意思。那也可以当装腔作势 like you're pretending， 你也可以用这个字。譬如说 He doesn't know a thing about baking. He is just posing. 他根本就不懂烘焙，他只是在装的。那么 Benson 就说了This is taking ages. 这搞太久了吧？这边的 ages 不是指年龄而是很长一段时间的意思，而且要用复数型哦。
Yeah, I hate someone who is very slow taking
That's me.
pictures. Oh, are you? Oh.
Sometimes.
So annoying. But Grace has her reasons. She says, sorry, I'm trying to find the right angle. Okay, so angle is a noun, and an angle can mean a few things. In this article, though, it means the position from which you take a picture, or you draw something, or you look at something. Oh, I had a hiccup. So let's think about this. So for example, if I turn to the side like this, then you're not looking at me from the front, you're looking at me from a side angle. If I turn the opposite way, the angle you're looking at me is from the opposite side. Okay, so these are different angles for looking at someone. Now, because we can take photos from different angles, we can also look at things from different angles too. And now we're talking about our 看法 or our 意见. So when we look at a problem from a certain angle, we try to think about it in a certain way. In other words, we mean 看法, as I just said. So let's look at an example sentence for angle as we saw it in the article. Veronica didn't like the angle Max took her photo from, so she asked him to take a photo again. Take the photo again, sorry.
OK， 所以 angle 就是角度跟视角的意思。所以 Grace 就跟那个 Benson 说：“哎呦，不好意思啦，因为我要找到比较好的角度拍才会好看呐。”但是 angle 像老师讲也可以当观点的意思，譬如说 We're getting nowhere. Let's try looking at the problem from a different angle.
So they're still trying to take these pictures, and Benson is getting really tired. He says, "My smile is frozen. My face hurts." Oh no, because he's posing for too long. It's very hard to look nice and smile if you're asked to smile for a long time.
所以他就说了，哎呦，我的笑变好僵啊，脸痛了耶。然后 Grace 就说 ，Stop rushing me, OK？ 然后他就说 ，OK, sorry， 他是已经拍好了，他就说 ，OK, I took the photo. Oh, No, look what happened.
What happened? Let's find out. But first, let's find out what rush means. Okay, so we're talking about rushing. Now, rush is a verb, and when you rush someone, you make them do something more quickly. If you're slow getting ready for school in the morning, your mom might rush you and tell you to be quicker. If you rush to do something, though, you're not rushing someone else, you're making yourself go faster. It doesn't look like Grace is rushing herself through, though, does it? Grace is certainly not in a rush. And when you're in a rush, you're hurrying to do things fast. So Grace, we can say, is taking her time. She's going very slowly. Or if we want to say she's going really slowly, we can say Grace is taking her sweet time. Grace is taking her sweet time. Okay, let's look at an example sentence for rush. Ricky was worried that they would be late to meet his friends, so he rushed Michelle out the door.
所以 rush 就是催促或是赶紧的意思。那么 Grace 就说了，哎呀，不要再催促我了啦。那么 rush 也可以是指催促别人啊，也可以是自己匆匆忙忙做什么事。譬如说，哎，我找不到手机了，在哪里？你就会很急，你就可以说 I rushed downstairs just to find my phone. 那么 Seb 老师刚刚提到的名词 be in a rush 就是在匆忙中，所以如果有一个人很急，你就说不急不急哦，你就可以跟他说 There's no rush, take your time.
And Benson says, haha, the photo is blurry. I don't mind. I seldom look good in photos anyway. Let me take one of you. Okay, so he's talking about the photo being blurry.
Yeah.
So that's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, 就是很模糊啊。Like all the pictures my parents take are like blurry. You know, 就是 especially my dad. 就是爸爸妈妈拍的照片都会比较糊，因为不会对焦。那么 Benson 就说照片好糊哦但我不介意哦，拍照本来就没多好看的。那不然我帮你拍拍好了。然后 Grace 就说 Don't forget to adjust the brightness. I've got all these lights behind me. 不要忘记调亮度咯，因为我有这边背光啊，我后面好多亮光哦。
I don't think I would use a blurry picture though. No, what's the point? Okay, so Benson says, okay, hold still there. Take a look. Okay, so he says a couple of things there. Firstly, hold still.
That means 别动就是叫你听好，不要动。那么 Grace 看到照片就I look good. The food looks good. But the man behind me has a really strange expression on his face. 然后 Grace 就说我看起来好看，食物也好看，但是我背景的男生有一个很奇怪的 expression. What does expression mean anyway?
Well, I just gave you a clue. An expression, that's a noun, is a look on your face, okay? So that could be a smile, it could be a frown, or it could be a look of disgust. I don't know if that was a look of disgust. Let me give another one. A look of disgust. Sometimes when people take a photo of you and you aren't ready for it, you might make a weird look on your face, okay? So you might be kind of, I don't know, frightened in front of the camera and you're not sure what to do, so you try to, look cool and it comes out very strange. And we could say you have a strange expression on your face. An expression can also be a phrase or some words. So for example, Macy used a funny expression I hadn't heard before. We could also say that someone is expressive when they use a lot of movement or a lot of face movement while they're talking, or a lot of colorful words to describe something. They're using a lot of emotion, so they're very expressive. Let's look at an example sentence for expression before we move on. Everyone but Mum laughed at my joke, and I could tell from the expression on her face that she didn't like it at all. Ooh, sounds like she's very angry.
Yeah, 所以 expression 就是表情、神色的意思。那么我们也可以说 facial expression 代表你脸部的表情。那么老师提到的 expressive 就是形容词。那么呢，我们再看一下它的动词跟另外一个形容词的用法，就是 express。那就是表达或快递的、直达的都是可以的。Let's make a few sentences with the word. Monica expresses herself in writing. 代表 Monica 借着写作来抒发她自己，或者是呢 I would like to send the package by express delivery because it needs to be sent to my dad's office before this Friday.
Okay, so a couple of uses for express there. Now, Benson carries on. He says, never mind, don't worry. We can edit the photo later. Okay, so he's going to edit the photo later. Now, edit is a verb, and when you edit a photo or video, you make a photo or video look better by changing things about it after you've taken it. So normally you edit a photo on the computer, but traditionally people edited photos maybe by using different chemicals. Now, you can change different things about a photo. You can change what the colors are in it, how bright it is, how wide or slim it is. You don't want to edit the photos too much though, or they won't look natural. We can edit other things too. We can edit texts and books as well. When we edit a text or a book, we take something that someone else has written and we prepare it to be published. I'm an editor, so my job is to edit writing here at English for You. Now, let's look at an example sentence for editing photos. The photo was too dark, so Brian edited it and made it lighter.
所以 Benson 就说别担心啦，那我们再编辑照片就好了嘛。所以我们用 edit 这个字呢，也可以说把什么东西剪掉，譬如说 edit something out。那我们造一个句子，The violent scenes of this film were edited out for television。那么 Grace 就说了，I don't think either of us will ever be a great photographer.
That certainly seems like it to me. That's because a photographer is someone who takes photos. So photographer is a noun, and you probably already had a good idea of what this was before we said it, because we've been talking about photographers all episodes.
Yeah.
A photographer is someone who takes photos of things.
Yeah.
So remember, when we put ER at the end of certain nouns, then we can turn that noun into a job. For example, we can turn the word bake into baker by changing what the job, by making it into someone who makes cakes, okay? Or we could also turn the word swim, the action swim, into swimmer. And though a swimmer is not somebody who swims for money, it is someone who swims. All right, now that we've looked at that, let's move on to an example sentence for photographer. The photographer took some pictures of the waterfall and later put them on his Instagram account.
所以 photographer 就是摄影师啦。那么 Grace 就说我觉得我们两个永远都没有办法变成厉害的摄影师。那这个字其实很好记啊，因为它有很多同形的字，像是 photograph， 它可以当名词或动词。当名词照片的意思，当动词就是帮别人拍照的意思。那么或摄影这个字再加一个 y 在结尾，变 photography。好，那我们看一下文章最后一句就结束，说了 They laugh and eat their terribles.
Okay, finally, it just took them 2 days of this article to eat their terribles.
终于
So long. Okay, they're eating their terribles, and we're going to let them do that, and we are going to go off into the next room and talk about our For You chat question.
For You chat.
Okay, so our For You chat question for today is, do you like taking pictures of your food? Why or why not? Well, you kind of answered this in day one, didn't you, Chickalin?
I did. I really do love taking pictures of my food. And you know, I cook by myself. So every time I cook, after I cook, and I plate them, and I just want to take pictures of them.
You plate them, you put them on the plate and serve them. I have a friend who does that too, who has an Instagram account just for putting pictures of his food. So he cooks, he takes a picture. Always from the same angle, so they all look kind of the same, and just the food is different. So that's a very cool idea.
Especially when, you know, the table is made of marble, and then you can see that the marble, the lines and the patterns are so beautiful.
Oh, you're really thinking out your pictures, aren't you? You're really planning it. Do you have any studio lights, any special lights?
I actually got one, but it was not for my food, but now I'm using them for my food.
Oh, wow. Very, very serious stuff. I bet you Chicklin probably has a photo studio in her house just for her food. That might be a little bit too extra.
Yeah,
might be
a little bit. What about you?
Sometimes I take pictures of my food.
Yeah, I think you answered that too yesterday.
I talked a little bit about it. I sometimes take pictures of my food, but not so much. I think I prefer to take pictures of people to food. Yeah. But, you know, if I have a very special meal, if it's someone's birthday, then it's nice to remember what happened, you know? It's nice to have a little memory. Okay, well, that's all the time we have for today's article. We're going to leave you here and we'll join you again soon with more interesting ideas and articles. So, until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Photo Fun and Jill Fun. Grace and Benson are on Jill Fun Old Street.
Let's get a snack at Grandma Li's taro balls. The sweet taro balls are delicious.
Okay. The camera eats first, though. I'll take a picture of you posing with the food.
This is taking ages.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the right angle.
My smile is frozen. My face hurts.
Ugh, stop rushing me. Okay, I took the photo. Oh no, look what happened.
The photo is blurry. I don't mind. I seldom look good in photos anyway. Let me take one of you.
Don't forget to adjust the brightness. I've got all these lights behind me.
Okay, hold still. There, take a look.
I look good. The food looks good. But the man behind me has a really strange expression on his face.
Never mind. We can edit the photo later.
I don't think either of us will ever be a great photographer.
They laugh and eat their taro balls.
Vocabulary Review. Pose. The famous actor posed for some photographs when some fans stopped him in the street. Angle. I can't see Danny from this angle because a large sign is blocking my view. Rush. Tina had to rush her children out the door so they wouldn't be late for school. Expression. Freddie doesn't have to tell me he's mad. I can tell by his expression. Edit. Sam edited the photo on his computer to make the gray sky look blue. Photographer. Ross and Lisa hired a photographer to take pictures at their wedding.
智慧小补帖
Taro. Blurry. Adjust.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net